Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Emergent Gamer Podcast, episode 294. I'm one of your hosts, Neo Ayoshi, joined by some cool dudes. Got Trip Zero.
What's up, everybody? It's Trip Zero.
We got Felix Urgood.
Felix Urgood here.
Hey. And today we have a special guest, El Platano Loco.
Hey, how's it going, guys? It's El Platano Loco here.
Yeah, I had to think about it.
The Emerging Gamers.
What's up, man? Welcome.
Yeah.
How you doing, man?
Thanks for being here, man.
Great, man. A lot to talk about today. I'm really excited. A couple of projects I want to go over when we get the chance, as far as like what I'm doing with gaming and also my little shop that I set up because I'm into Pokemon, like I mentioned. So hopefully we get some time for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
absolutely.
Definitely.
It's you. You're gonna have the show's about you essentially. Besides the rest of our bullshit, but yeah, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. It's gonna be a good time.
Right. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Emergent Gamer Podcast. You can find us on all of your podcast services of your choosing. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe over there. Rate us 5 stars. Tell your mom. Tell your friends. Get on out there and show us some love. Follow us on Twitter too. Yeah, why not? Do all those things. All of those things are great. Let's get started. Trip, what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Well, as you guys know, finished the 100% run of Stardew Valley. Shit was intense.
Beautiful.
A lot of fun. I've been doing Destiny 2 maintenance, of course. Still, we're prepping for the next season. We got Vault of Glass coming back from Destiny 1, getting the team together to run that raid day 1 and compete like we always do. But the real gaming content on twitch.tv/trip0tv is Disney's 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. The game came out in November of 2000, and I've completed this game and have since officially joined the speedrunning community for this game.
Shut up. You're going back in?
Going back in. I joined the Discord. I got a bunch of the guides, set up things.
Wait,
to
have Discord for this game
Discord.
specifically?
And you know what's really funny about the Discord? I found it on speedrun.com as I was finding guides and things to follow and like how to set up like the splits, you know, and like live split and everything on your screen so you can like track your times and stuff. Joined the Discord and like, you know, I pop in there. I don't really like make a big deal, but like someone says hello. Then I start like, hey, what's up? I started playing the game. Everyone's like saying hello. They're all being super nice. Someone goes, oh yeah, I saw you playing this the other night. And I was like, I just joined this like an hour ago. What do you mean? They have a streams channel where there is a bot that goes through Twitch and posts people that are playing the game, regardless of whether they're in the Discord or not.
Oh my God.
And I was like, holy shit, man, that's kind of wild. They were like, yeah, I saw you playing that game the other night. And I was like, how? It was this magical bot that just cherry picks. And it's like, this person's playing.
That's cool.
Watch this person. This person's playing. Watch this, you know?
Trip, I gotta be honest with you. I'm mostly shocked that there is like a community around this game of speedrunning this game.
Yes, I know.
I mean, people speedrun everything.
Another broadcaster came into my stream. Was it Monday? It was either Monday or last Thursday. Her name is Wade Lady. She plays a lot of Subnautica. She came in and was like, "Yeah, I follow this channel on Twitch, so I get alerted when people stream. I grew up with this game. I love this game, so I just have it ping me when anyone is playing it." Like, this game is the perfect crossover of like super niche, but like super niche with people that are interested in it to like have all of these like wires crisscrossing for alerts. Like, you could never do this with Destiny 2 or like Overwatch or Smash Brothers or Hearthstone or League. Imagine how many people go live playing that stuff. It wouldn't make any sense, you know?
This is a very specific case.
Exactly. Very, very specific communities here. So I went right back in and I'm trying to learn the levels for 100% run. There's obviously 100% in the game. Then there is just like get all the way to the end as fast as possible glitch based run. I've started to work on the 100%, but I might go for the glitch just for fun as well, to learn the speeds. They're very different feels, obviously. And there's like 17 levels, including 4 different boss fights with Cruella de Vil. And in each level, you got to find 100 puppy bones, and you've got to find 6 puppies that are buried trapped in boxes somewhere in the level, and you got to free your puppy friends.
I'm just thinking about the idea of a multi-phase boss fight with Cruella de Vil as in this game, like a Destiny boss fight where like the monster changes, right? Like
there are
Cruella de
multiple
Vil changes.
Neo, you were in one of my streams. I was in the Big Ben level.
I was.
The clock tower. And
and
I was commenting on how amazing this game communicated mechanics to someone who might be new, like a kid playing this game, right? But how that like could translate to people that maybe don't have a game developed skill, like someone who's older or someone getting into the stuff kind of later on in life. It'd be a great training game for that perspective.
Dude, I mean, on that note, a lot of earlier games are really good at teaching you how to play 3D style games.
Yeah, they had to.
Because I mean, well, we were used to it now, but we grew up learning on those early platforms, and they're kind of like the baby steps that that we took back in the day to get to where we are now.
What was the first 3D Mario game on? What was it on N64?
Mario 64.
Yeah, Mario 64 would have been my first 3D game, other than the kind of attempts.
Crash Bandicoot.
No, I never played that. Other than the attempts by Nintendo to 3D 2D with Star Fox, right?
Right.
Star Fox would have been like, but that was more like 2D with like 3D.
Yeah, the basic premise of Star Fox 64 was still the same as the 2D version, where you're going forward and zipping up and down and sideways on a map. Except they had a couple all range mode levels, but that's semantics. For the most part, you're right, Felix. It's the same experience, flat 2D, just with better three-dimensional graphics as you zipped around.
Yeah.
But to your point, Neo, there was a multi-phase final boss fight with Cruella de Vil.
That's wild.
Where you had to like work with different mechanics and learn as you went, and I learned as I went, and I was applying my knowledge. It was great.
It was one of the phases her trying to run over your dog with the car?
No, not in these boss fights. But she was trying to.
That would have been fucked up, man.
Yeah, she had a couple cannons in some phases. The final fight was a laser cannon, and I had to have my own laser cannon. No, I'm sorry. She was shooting glue, like industrial strength toy glue that would have trapped you in it. You had to avoid that, and you had to get to a laser cannon and destroy her platform. But every time you knocked a screw off the platform, some new mechanic to the fight joined in, and you had to start avoiding multiple mechanics to work at the next screw pieces. It was a fun, tough fight to learn.
Were you playing on the emulator, or were you playing on the original?
Yep, emulated version on the computer.
Nice.
It's actually a little bit tough to set up because the game is an old Windows 95 game, and they do not play nice with current technology in terms of like going into a windowed mode easily. So when I was first launching this game, it would maximize itself full screen, fuck up all my window placements because like it's redoing what Windows wants to do, right? This is now a screen by itself. You can't alt tab out of it. You can't alt F4 out of it. That shit didn't like exist, So like I was just locked into this experience. I have to use software called DXWND, like just literally just a bunch of letters. But essentially, this software will let you run programs in a little. It's almost like a virtual box without needing a virtual
screen environment.
Yeah,
right?
you run the game in there, and then you give it the ability to like resize, stretch the game. Obviously, it needs a much more powerful system, which we have now compared to the original games. But yeah, there's a lot of setup, but it's fun. And now we're living in the 102 Dalmatians speedrun world for fun. So
that's crazy.
That's funny. This is the funniest thing of 2021 so far.
I would have never guessed. I definitely played the game at first as a meme, but was just like amazed at how good it was.
That's quite the rabbit hole to fall down. Damn.
If you can find this game out there, chat, listeners, whoever is here, please do it for yourself. If you enjoy like any kind of 3D platformers or like a retro nostalgia experience, like the game is incredible. The voice work is incredible. The cutscenes are well animated. Frankie Muniz, voice of the main puppy, like they got an all-star cast
and has no recollection that he did that.
I just learned about that the other night.
Did you hear about that?
Mm-hmm. I had no idea, but someone in my chat was telling me that he had multiple concussions, a stroke as well. Just like he barely remembers Malcolm in the Middle. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you know why, right?
I don't know why.
He was a race car driver.
Oh yeah,
I did not know that.
He was racing a shit ton of circuits. That's what it was, and he's gotten in a lot of like bad wrecks and
The
shit.
Frankie Muniz lore keeps growing
Mm-hmm.
by the day.
That's what I
hope he's doing all right right
but
now.
wa- Watch, we just discovered that that's just an urban legend. You know how people like learn something about somebody and then they like create this narrative surrounding that person's existence to like explain why the person just has a lot of concussions.
Like the race car thing is just completely made up.
It's like made up. I don't even know if it's real, but I think that's what it is.
I've heard race cars tied into this. So if it's a rumor, you're not the only one who believes that rumor. I believe there's something
I
to
think
that.
he was trying to race a bunch of like minor circuits and like, you know,
No, I definitely remember
got into
that.
some bad fucked up wrecks and shit.
All right, there's some truth to this. Anyway,
Speed
that's
Racer.
Disney's 102
Felix.
Dalmatians. Check it out.
Felix, what are you up to?
Oh, me. This is going to be real brief, but this kind of ties to our guest Los here. I got, first off, they just released the giant patch. I can't even remember specifically what this is, but it's the Locked and Loaded patch for Fallout 76. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. I'm back into the game. I'm excited about it. But what sucks for me is I also, right before that came out, I completely forgot about Fallout 76. Forgot it was even coming. I knew it was coming in April, like in the mid-March. But now we're in mid-April, and I completely fucking zone out and forget. I Frankie Muniz that shit.
Oh God!
Completely.
Let's not make this a thing.
I didn't do it. I did.
Poor Frankie.
It was just the one joke. I'm not going to do it again.
Oh no, it's okay. It just
I
You
hope
got to
he-
bring it back at the end. It's rules
poor
of three.
Frankie Muniz, man.
I hope he gets better. All right.
Him and Chris Pronger.
But anyway, so I completely forgot, and then last week or like before that, got hardcore back into Elder Scrolls Online on the Xbox, and I can't express enough how much I love this MMO.
You know what's interesting, Felix? As
Yeah.
you mentioned, I'm not going to cut you off for too long.
Yeah.
I just looked over at who we have broadcasting in terms of friends of ours.
Yeah.
KJ Lewis right now is literally playing the Elder Scrolls Online.
Right, he does. He plays it a lot. I've actually watched his stream a couple of times. I asked him pointers when I was in the early stages of my own character builds. He knows a lot about good builds. I've
Very
gotten
cool.
to the point where now I'm in champion levels. My current champion level is 168. And I'm just,
Is there a limit to that? What does that represent?
so I don't know off the top of my head because I'm not really that well versed in it, but I know that it's very high. It's much higher than where I am. It might be as high as 600. I'm not really sure.
Oh,
Those points add very fast. You earn that experience much faster than you do the early 1 through 50 soft levels when you're building a character. So 1 through 50 take a long time. But when you get to the champion points, they just keep dropping. And what's really cool, I get back into this game, all of my skill points had been what's it called when they take them back and they give them to you again?
Refunded.
Refunded to me. So they were all refunded to me, and all of my champion points were refunded to me. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is this shit all refunded? I haven't been in the game in a while. I get in there. They updated and changed the entire champion point skill trees to be better. Like,
So they gave you all your points back so you could respec your characters with all the
dude,
new
it looks so much like Path of Exile. Like a
my
less
God.
complicated version of Path of Exile.
Wow,
And
interesting.
it's really fun, and it's really helpful in you figuring out how to min-max a particular style. And that's what I really like about it, because now I know the exact... I had to watch a video to learn this because it's so not fucking obvious just by looking at it. But I
Right.
figured out from watching this video from a guy called Hack the Minotaur. So if anyone out there wants like really extra special, very specified build YouTube videos, the guy that I was put on by my friend Jay Prince was Hack the Minotaur. It's a great YouTube channel for learning ESO builds. But he did this video about like the new champion point system 2.0 is what they're calling it. And dude, it's crazy. I now know the exact path I want to take to like build my. I'm doing a thief warden. Well, my class is warden, but I'm doing a thief. A thief healer like solo build. What a solo build is, you're not building it for PvP in ESO. You're not building it for high-end dungeons. You're doing it for all the solo content, which is probably 75 to 80% of the content in ESO is soloable content. Content where you just play alone. You don't even need people for it. It's all the stories. It's all It's all the zone DLC. It's all the guild DLC that you can do. And this is, of course, a lot of this can only be acquired if you're paying for the membership or you use crowns to buy it. But if you pay for the membership, you get it all. But if you stop paying for the membership. So I got really hard back into that, and now I don't know what to do because like Fallout comes back, Bethesda or the world of Bethesda, other ZeniMax fucking online game, and now it's like they both have dailies. So what am I doing? Am I doing both dailies like Jay Prince in one day? Fuck that.
It's the live service dilemma.
Right.
Live service
do I do dailies for both? No. I think I'm going to alternate. One day I'm going to play Elder Scrolls and enjoy myself, and the next day I'm going to play Fallout. But right now I'm teetering on the edge of thinking that Elder Scrolls is much more rich for me. I really am obsessed, Trip, and Neo, Trip, and maybe even Los. Did you play Skyrim?
I played Skyrim, yeah.
So now with their DLCs that they released last year in 2020, like they now have mapped Skyrim in the game. So like the full, I think almost all of Skyrim is now available in their version, which takes place approximately three or 400 years before Skyrim actually happened. So you get to see the entire, if you have trained to memory the entire map of Skyrim, you get to see what it looked like before things happened, when dragons still roamed the earth and that kind of shit. So I really kind of, before they were put into those like little mounds, you remember the dragons were all in the mounds?
Yeah, the burial.
The barrows, yeah. So
are these, I mean, obviously this game ties into the wider lore of Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, it's the whole of Tamriel, the entire continent.
Did they set this at a time where they could essentially like write story and not stomp all over other mainline games in the series?
As far as I know, the game it didn't retcon anything. They just built upon the lore of the earlier games. What's really interesting is the new one coming out, Blackwood. I believe what that's doing is that's stomping back over the Oblivion game. So it's letting you revisit, because there's a part of Blackwood DLC is going to be called the Gates of Oblivion. So like for all the people who really played Oblivion, this is their way of re-getting Oblivion and seeing the parts of Oblivion that existed prior. I think it's this game even takes prior to that.
Oblivion was the first Elder Scrolls I played. I didn't finish it. I was like way too young to like.
I mean, they're so really dense. I mean, there's so much shit going on. Yeah.
But I know that was Cyrodiil. That's the center region. It was Cyrodiil to the south of Skyrim. And you can see the tower of Cyrodiil from Skyrim if you like clip through a certain mountain. Like they actually like modeled a white gold tower out beyond like the southern mountaintops. It was kind of cool.
Well, that's what there was that group that was basically they've been creating their own like Tamriel off of that content or something. Like they've been doing it through mods basically. And they've been creating trying to recreate all that shit in the engine of Elder Scrolls 5. But I just think it's really cool to have all this content and see all these different worlds. Now, if anyone's curious as to, because I just helped a friend through this process, if anyone out there who's listening to the podcast has an interest in getting into the game now, the smartest thing to do is to make sure when you buy the Blackwood DLC, because the way it works is whatever's current is released as what is called a chapter. And chapters cost money every time they come out. Even if you have the membership, the chapter, maybe they do this for Final Fantasy 14, Neo. I'm not really sure.
They would be like expansions, right?
When a new expansion comes out, that costs money, and then eventually there's a time frame when it eventually becomes a part of, if it's been out long enough, it becomes a part of the paid membership, or does it always is it always something?
they have a cycle where they cycle in the older content to make room for the new content. And
right.
You pay for
so when
that.
they come out with a new thing, the thing that came out before that gets put into a different category and now becomes a part of the membership. So, but
it's God, yeah. The Elder Scrolls is the only game that really works like that.
okay,
Like
it is,
like Final Fantasy 14 still works on an expansion basis where you have to
So does
own the
WoW,
expansion. So like you can play the game for free up to a certain point. And as of right now, there are 2 major expansions that are free. That changed. They used to lump that stuff into
Okay.
so like it's a couple years down the road, but they eventually like kind of backfill that stuff in. But you have to own the 3rd and 4th expansions to play them, even if you subscribe to the game and pay monthly. You have to buy those separately for the big content packs.
Well, honestly, when it comes to MMOs, this is a really tough thing to do because when you have this many expansions in a game, you end up losing player bases because of their lack of reach into the content. Elder Scrolls sounds like they're doing it a really smart way. They're letting anyone come into it. You want to play the new stuff, just buy the new stuff. But because it's, the older expansions aren't new anymore, they're just going to let everyone go free.
right.
Right.
So
Like
what I
you
was
just
going to say
play it.
is right
good.
now, if you can find it out there, let's say you're brand new to the game entirely, you can buy the whole base game, Blackwood new content, and all the previous chapters for $60. So you can get them and they're
great.
all included. This way, if you have a friend who's been playing, like me, for instance, I've been playing them in the champion levels. I have it all, and I'm paying for the membership. I have access to everything, and I can go anywhere in the world. This way, you'll be able to go anywhere in the world with your friends. The only things you won't have are the extra DLC guilds that you can pay for, which is like the Thieves Guild quest line, the Dark Brotherhood quest line. That's all extra. That's a part of the membership, but that's
the good stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, that's everyone wants to play in the Dark Brotherhood. Well, fuck you, pay me. You know what I mean? Like that's how the game. And vampire and werewolf, you have to pay for those too. You want to be a vampire? Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah. They know people want, man. They know.
So it's pretty exciting times. In that same scenario I just described, if you hadn't played the game, maybe you only bought base game back in the day, got bored of it, didn't play it. If you're coming back, you'd buy the same exact thing, except it would be the upgrade, the Blackwood upgrade, that would include all of the previous shit that you missed, and then the new Blackwood upgrade, and that's cheaper. I think that's usually like $40. But it includes all the previous shit, so it's great. And there's no better time to get into ESO than right now.
I wish they were sponsored. And
then
really solid sale you had there.
I'll be real quick. Fallout released locked and loaded, and now there's more than one camp slot. I think I mentioned that on a previous show, but that's cool.
Yeah, you did. You were telling us they're getting ready for that.
There's literally a ton of stuff in it that I was hoping they would fix that they didn't fix. So yeah, great, another camp slot. I'm excited.
That's Fallout.
As far as the Elder Scrolls, are you playing that on console or PC?
So I'm primarily a console guy, so I'm playing all of that on Xbox. Both of the games I have on Xbox. You and I, though, we kind of toyed with playing Fallout, and I did end up buying Fallout 76 on the PlayStation so I could play with Los. And at one point, him and I were going back and forth, but then he got back into his Hearthstone grind, and I ended up. I floated slowly, and I floated slowly back to fucking playing on the Xbox again. But because I got a crew over there, that's what am I gonna do? So
cool. What are you gonna do?
That's all I've been doing.
I'll be as brief as I can. I want to talk about one game I've been playing and 2 other games I want to play, and I want to know if you guys have heard of these and what your thoughts are on these. The first game I've been playing was over the weekend. I downloaded The Witness on my PlayStation 5.
I hear that's good.
I love The Witness so much.
I know you do. I remember when you were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I played it on PC a little bit, but they gave it for free on PlayStation over the week. Or like in the last month or whatever.
I own it on like everything, like even iOS, but PS4 was the first place I played it.
Yeah. They upgraded it actually. They gave it a little facelift. You can play it in like upscaled mode or like resolution mode, right? They added that whole jam to it. But as many of you know, especially Trip, it's a puzzle game where it's a Myst-like experience where they throw you on a world and they give you grid puzzles, like little dot and grid puzzles, and they evolve them in like a million ways, right? Like they go different directions, and then you have to retain all the knowledge from the earlier, easier puzzles into the more difficult, challenging puzzles to unlock the island's secrets. It's cool. It's gorgeous, man. I played it on like my living room 4K TV, man.
I bet
that shit looks good.
Yeah,
that's a good looking game. Yeah.
I used to like come home from work and I'd go to my room, I'd turn on like my hue lights, I'd lay in bed, get like my faux wolf skin fur blanket, just like get right in the zone. Maybe alter my mental state a little bit, who knows? And then just like dive into my big TV and just
solve some dot puzzles.
Just get into that island, man. Because I don't want to step on your part here, but like it is gorgeous because there's so many different biomes on the island that all look so visually strikingly different and beautiful, and just like experiencing all that is part of the fun for sure.
It's a good way of dividing up the island, and it also divides up because what I was playing with one of my friends, we were just like sitting and playing this game like, oh god, for like almost 8 to 10 hours. We were just like couldn't stop playing it.
Were you playing with someone like physically
on the couch?
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you guys trading for puzzles and or like using your brain to?
All right, so cheating here. He was playing the game, but we were solving them together. I had my iPad, and when we got like stumped on a puzzle, I'd be like, okay, let me just take a picture of this puzzle, and I'll kind of just draw along the grid and see if we can solve it this way. We used like I was like the co-pilot. You know what I mean?
I have notes. I'm pretty sure I haven't deleted them, but if I go back to like the years of my life that I was playing this game, I have notes on my phone where I've drawn out the grids, and I have like different levels of transparency as I was trying out different like paths and orders to like the solutions. So I'm right there with you, man. Like at a certain point, you have to write it out. Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
I just changed my picture. I just lost it. I have a bunch of pictures I took. Here we go, like this.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, am I gonna figure this puzzle out? Like this is like what it looks like. I don't know. I'm like, and I was like, okay, is this one? How are we doing on? Oh shit, there's too much lighting. I got too much lighting.
Fuck
But you get the idea.
Just stop. Just fucking
that last
stop.
picture is interesting. The one before that, I think. These puzzles get so in depth, right? They start out very simple. I'm sorry, I don't want you go. I don't want to step on your thing. I'm just so excited about this game.
No, it's okay. It's awesome, but I don't know. I wish I had a better way of showing this on camera.
You play puzzle games there, Los? You play puzzle games?
I used to play like back when 2048 was like.
Oh, the phone game.
Yeah, and like I dabble here and there. There was another one. I think it's called Lumi. If I don't know if I'm butchering that, but that was another really good puzzle game that I was getting into. But
there's a lot of great mobile puzzle-based games because it's a great platform for that because you can like be super tactile
interactive
with your fingers. Yeah, just it's a great way to. The Witness works great on iOS and on iPad.
I got doubt that.
Puzzle games hurt my brain. I'm sorry.
No,
that's your point counterpoint.
The best part about The Witness is that it excels at doing the bare minimum of whatever it's trying to teach you, right? Like it literally shows you by puzzle progression how to beat the puzzles. The answers are always in front of you. No matter what puzzle you're doing, the answer is always there. It's just a matter of finding, like some puzzles make you use the environment to solve them. It's not just solving like, oh, the grid goes this way. It's like, for example, in one of them, there was like, oh, I had to line up the vines to line up with the puzzle itself to solve it and trace those lines. That answer was just sitting in the world, right? Like it's all there.
Yeah, you start by going like you just got to take a line from the starting point to the ending point, and then as you go, like Neo said, you learn and are taught different ways to get the line to the end while fulfilling different criteria. Like sometimes you got to like go around a different shape before you get to the end, right? Sometimes you need to like block off that shape, trace around it, and make sure that it's like sealed off from any other shape before you get to the end. And it gets as complicated as like what Neo said, where there are patterns in the environment that you start to notice. The cool thing about this game is it makes you feel like you're going crazy a little bit because you start seeing things. You see things as you learn how to do these puzzles, and you visually will look at something on the island that you never saw before, or that you saw before, but in a new way, and you're like, oh my god, like that's the solution. It was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Like it gets so complicated that there are shadows that are cast by trees that are your puzzle solution because of the way the shadow lands on the screen is the way you have to trace your line. Did you get to the audio puzzle area?
No.
There's an audio based area.
All right, so back when the game came out, I did play it. I played the treehouse biome. I remember playing that specifically. I didn't even get to that biome this time. We did like the sand area. We did the beginning area, the trees. I know this isn't going to mean anything to anybody who hasn't played this, but there's like the pink tree area, right?
Yep.
Those puzzles. And then there's and like we went into the castle. We got to the almost like chessboard style puzzles, the physical ones.
Yep.
Where you have to physically walk the grid. It's cool, man. It's like I want to beat it now, like almost. Like it's I want to tell me this. Is there a good present at the end?
He wants a spoiler.
Yeah.
I want to know if it's worth the journey.
Well, I feel that way about many video games
Neo.
I play there,
Shit,
Neo.
You got me.
Question about
Have you found any of the
Audio
like the sound
diaries?
files? Yeah.
Yeah.
The game
They're
is
all like-
it's a very philosophical game. You're gonna find these little they're almost like podcasts. They're just people's it's like philosophy. You just hear someone reading like a philosophy
Quote. Somebody one of them quoted Albert
Essay.
Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. It's cool.
It's a very heady game.
I'm liking it a lot. The two games that I wanted to ask about were this week the Returnal comes out for PS5. This is a game that looks really cool. It's a rogue-like experience, and I don't know if you guys have seen the trailers for this game. It looks awesome. It's made by Housemarque, the people who did like Resogun and a lot of these other like indie PlayStation titles.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good.
And the problem is for me is that it's like $70. And it sounds like it's a smaller type experience and it's a roguelike, so you're going to die a lot, and that's how they extend kind of the experience of the game.
Right.
The other game I was looking into getting, and this is not an if, but more of a when game, the Nier Replicant game that just came out.
Yeah. That's I know you're big into that series, and I've seen people playing that.
Yeah, I liked Automata a lot. Like a lot. It was really good. And my only memories of the first Nier game were watching my friend play it. And there were two protagonists that came out during the release of the game. There was Big Daddy Nier, who's like this big buff dude. This is the original release in the West that we got in like 2011, 2012. And then in Japan, they got Little Brother Nier, who's like the main character for Japan. It's the same game though. For whatever reason, they switched the characters.
Okay.
But yeah, these are. I don't know which one I should try and go for first. I know I have more of an attachment to Nier at this point, but I do want to get my PS5 moving. I don't want it to just sit there and collect dust.
Yeah.
This is another reason to to turn on the PS5, and it looks like a really cool experience. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of stuck on which one to do.
I've played nothing but old games on my PS5.
That's what we're all doing right now. There's only
there's not much.
games.
Not much.
Nothing new on my PS5, dude. Nothing.
That's so true. Just have a bunch of PS4 games that I still haven't touched that are still sealed because I'm playing all of these games that are just all like web-based or they're just like you log in, like what I was saying with Genshin. So
Genshin though, they got their first update for PS5 this week.
Oh yeah. So it's like updating the textures to kind of like match that PS5 output and stuff like that. And 1.5 actually dropped, so people can make their own houses inside the game. So you have your own little hideout and stuff. And they're also releasing more like boss battles that you could re-up on Primal Gems and other materials.
Let's move over to you, El Platano Loco. You like playing Genshin Impact. What's that all about?
All right, we can start with Genshin Impact. So Genshin Impact is a multi-platform game. You got it on PC, mobile, as well as on PlayStation, and I think on the Switch as well, actually. And I've started playing a couple of months ago and have not been able to put down my phone. It's kind of taken over that slot that Hearthstone's been holding.
You're
for
doing
so
it. You're doing it on the
long.
phone. You're a phone guy.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like dabble between the phone and the computer, but it's just so much easier. Like the phone is, right there. I could just hop on, and the graphics are pretty similar. It's insane. I've never been this impressed with a mobile game in a very, very long time. And it doesn't even take that much space on a device either. Developed by MiHoYo, it kind of is influenced a little bit by Zelda. That was kind of like the big thing in the beginning. Everybody was just like, "Oh, it's just a Zelda ripoff." And you do see the influence for these characters, the Hilitrolls, which are the basic enemies that kind of like wander around the world and you fight every so often. But it's a really fun game. Very pay forward in terms of they have battle passes and also characters that they cycle in that all have better abilities than the last one. So you never want to kind of like miss out on a banner. But I probably put in about $500 to $700, and I'm not.
Oh my god,
it's crazy. But
700.
You don't want to know how much I put into Hearthstone, man.
I mean, I'm there with you on Hearthstone. I don't know if I put that much in Hearthstone, but I definitely did sink a lot of money into seasonal packs and like the $50 bundles when the new season would drop and stuff like that. So I get you there for sure.
And that's the thing with Hearthstone, I just couldn't keep up anymore because I haven't
feel the same way.
Yeah, I felt that's how I dropped off. I couldn't keep up with the meta and the different releases.
I didn't want to because they started implementing changes too rapidly. Like cards would get rotated out of like the standard decks and things. I mean, I get that you have to shift the meta in a card based game like that, but I didn't feel like doing it anymore because I had done it for years, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna spend my time somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
What they did end up doing with Hearthstone that was pretty interesting is they introduced Wild was a thing for the longest time where you could play with cards from the past. But then they added a classic mode where you can play with the cards with those same stats. Like you remember Leroy Jenkins, very iconic card. They shifted it back in the classic mode so you could play it back when it was 4 mana. And that was, the busted version and gadgets and Auctioneer and all those other goodies. So if you wanted to get that experience back in, what was it? Started like 2015, 2016, I think it was.
Yeah, that sounds. I forget exactly. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I was definitely obsessed around then for sure.
Oh yeah. It's something that I got back into because at one point I was just like, do I want to keep buying packs? Like, I'm kind of in this cycle of just spending all this money for this digital card game, but I still have my collection and I marvel at it.
Now you're buying digital waifus.
Right now. Digital waifus. Just changing from one thing to another, right?
Exactly. I think the best part about games like Hearthstone and Genshin Impact I think it's the coolest thing about Genshin Impact is that I can download it on my phone or tablet and have the same save file and experience in both places. And that by far is the coolest idea when it comes to a game. Like I don't know if every game should have this, but I think most games should have this. If you're going to have a game that like Destiny should have this, absolutely. You want to play on your PlayStation and take your character to your friends on PlayStation, you should be able to do that. Well, more or less you can, right? But
you can now.
Yeah. It seems like the ultimate like pinnacle of what a game should be able to do if you want to have that kind of experience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just being able to take it everywhere you want. And I did actually play a little bit of Genshin Impact. I actually have it on my iPad as well. The game's a lot of fun. I just haven't been able to like let it bite me and like get into it. But there are definitely the similarities between Breath of the Wild and this game. Like the physics puzzles that they throw at you and a lot of the abilities you get, very Breath of the Wild-y, and very much like you can set grass on fire and it like, it makes the updraft current, and like they definitely like take a lot of I don't want to say liberties, but like a lot of inspiration from Breath of the Wild. It's cool. It's a real cool I'm glad it's doing well because it's a good game first and then it's monetization second, right? Like in my eyes, that's usually how I like to think. Make a good game first, then you can start,
right.
Give me them dollars for more.
Give me the dollars. Yeah. But like the other thing about Genshin that I really found to be interesting is that they're incorporating more mini games into the game itself to kind of like not necessarily stray away from like the main story content, but give you something to work with while they implement those patches or updates. Because at one point, like it starts to get a little dry because they're working like day in and day out on these updates. 1.5, which is the one that just came out, is a huge update that adds another layer with the whole house customization, as well as just add more main story content as well.
For the house, is it like Skyrim where you like buy a house and then like you can decorate it, or is it like Minecraft where you're like literally I'll just build any kind of house I want?
So it's crazy.
What is it like?
Because they kind of added that mythical approach to it, where there's a lady that gives you a teapot, and in the teapot you actually go into the teapot, and that's where your house or your realm is. So it's like you're going into another world, and you could also invite people into your world and fight like dungeon bosses and stuff like that. So adding definitely another layer, because as far as like the co-op is very limited to just doing either Spiral Abyss or certain dungeons and things like that. But this adds more of like a social aspect to it. So nice. Really looking forward to it.
Very cool.
That's a really cool way of solving we can't edit or manipulate our world for every player, but we can create a space that you can make your own in a teapot. Like I think that's a pretty clever workaround for like
it is. It's a really, really good way to make it a thing, because everybody wants their own personal space in these online worlds. So no matter what kind of like how in depth the online world is, people want player housing is the thing everyone always asks for, right?
Final Fantasy 14 has a huge market for that.
They do, literally.
And it's limited too. Like if you want a house, you have to get an open plot.
Dude,
it's insane.
I really, really, really this summer want to try to get a house in Ishgard, because Ishgard is opening up a residential area for the first time, and I love that area and that city.
Expensive, man. Buying houses in that, or like estates is what they call them, I guess. Yeah, man, that's a lot.
I did buy a room in our shared guild mansion, because we're in vibe with Rowan, so I do have my own room there in our estate hall. But it'd be cool as hell to have my own house, and I would love to have one in Ishgard. And I figure an entirely new neighborhood opening up essentially is like a great time to jump in. So
Felix.
So there's a quest in Elder Scrolls Online called Room for Rent, I think, that I just left and didn't bother fucking with, right? So fast forward, I've been playing like the membership, and with the membership at one point when they released like the Somerset Isle shit, like Somerset Isle is like an island that's off of the Tamriel continent, so where a bunch of the High Elves come from. So anyway, so when I get that DLC, they gave me a house. So it's this giant fucking mansion, right? Empty, not furnished whatsoever, right? And then through my process of like just playing the game, I was like, oh, fuck, I'll just buy this house over here. So I finally returned to this Room for Rent quest, which is like the quest to introduce you to the housing like mechanics in that game. It's a fucking broom closet, basically. It's an apartment in the back of an inn.
You get the special Harry Potter edition.
I have a giant fucking mansion. And somebody was just like, here's a free broom closet. And I took it. Of course, because of the story. What?
Did you lose your mansion?
No. It's not. The game doesn't play where you lose it. You got to replace a house with a house. No, it's just like my character has a medium-sized house that is across from like this weird haunted village. And then I have the giant mansion in the Somerset Isles among the High Elves that's empty and not furnished. And then a broom closet that I can go to in this small town. So fucking
Space is at a premium everywhere.
So the most hilarious thing about the housing mechanic you can take people, like you can buy companions who live in your house, like you could in Skyrim, and you can also take animals that you've claimed free. You have in the game they have pets and they have mounts. So all that I have in my mansion are a fucking giant like battle cat, type cat that was a mount, and this little house cat that I set on paths to roam randomly around the house. So when you enter this house, it's just a fucking giant battle cat with armor and fucking a house cat. Like they're living together as fucking mates and shit.
Of course.
Sounds like a
No
TV show.
furniture. No fucking furniture whatsoever in the giant mansion. Sorry, I cut you off.
No,
I went
you're
on a
fine.
fucking tangent. So Los,
Platanos.
I was gonna say, tell us about you have like a business that you're trying to get up off the ground, right?
Yeah. So
Tell us all about it.
two things. I have a shop on Mercari. If you guys are familiar, online marketplace. You download the app on your phone or on your iPad. But the business name is Curio X Hunters. And we sell pretty much collectibles, trading cards, a bunch of stuff that's kind of like been close to us for a while. And a big part of that has been cards on my end. I know my girlfriend kind of like dabbles in more of like the other collectibles like movies and figures and stuff like that. But since I've been getting all of these cards, I figured why not like try to make some supplemental income to not only reinvest but save some. So we've been selling for about a year now and kind of like dabbling in a little bit of everything, a little bit of electronics, some trading cards, but it's definitely been a little tougher now than it was when Pokemon started to kind of come off the ground late 2020. But still,
Yeah, it's definitely seen a resurgence. Those like people opening cards on stream and stuff.
Yeah, and like you were saying, Island is one of the big streamers. Is and PokeRev, Leonhardt, all of these YouTubers that have kind of been in the space for a long time have seen like their following grow exponentially, and the rise of like all of the smaller kind of YouTubers that are trying to get their ground are also like finding a lot of traction with that too, because everybody's starting to rekindle this passion for opening up packs and feeling what we felt when we were kids, just gambling away our allowances. Is like everybody has money from their jobs, from their businesses and stuff, and they figure they could spend a couple thousands on cards.
All right. Platanos, let me ask you a question. Should I open these?
Yo, what the base set?
Oh yeah, base set original.
Are you
unopened?
Are you sure
they are sealed.
Sure those aren't resealed.
I'm pretty sure I got these as a gift from when I worked at GameStop from a coworker, and he was like, "Yeah, just take these." I'm pretty sure these are legit. Like,
you got them years ago. You didn't buy these like this year.
I did not buy them this year. These have been in my drawer, and I've just been not doing. I've just held them.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't want to open them.
Don't open.
Yeah, I would hold on to that.
You're holding? Are you holding?
Don't open.
Gang.
Keep holding.
To the moon.
Those are legit.
To the moon with that one.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if you hold them. What you might want to do is like seal them as they are and try to sell them as they are. Like those packs could go for $1,000.
Yeah, easily like, 500 grand at least.
Yeah.
I did check recently because over in the Kind of Funny Discord, they talk about opening like Pokemon. We have a Pokemon channel over there that they all talk about. And one of the people knew that I had those, and we looked it up on eBay at the time. I think this was before the rush of all the streamers opening packs, and I think they were like $400 or $500 a pack, not like thousands, but like they were up there in value, which is cool. Just cool. I'm just gonna keep them in my drawer here
and pull a Charizard. Who knows? And then of course you're looking at 5 figures, but that's a gamble.
Well, Neo, you just met somebody who could probably broker a deal for you in the future with a percentage.
You can also open them, and then you might just get like a bunch of
the problem is
any card in there is valuable. Like that base set is so valuable, man.
But the moment you open it, the value is just going to tank immediately if there's like nothing good in there, right? Like it instantly loses its value.
I mean, I know people still like want like they're not first editions, are they?
They would say it on the pack.
I would say it on the front of the pack. Yeah,
it's a little stamp. It should be on the bottom left, I think.
I don't see anything. Here,
even so, like they're still worth a good amount. If they were first edition base set packs, those would be like probably like $5 to $10,000 a pack or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think I see the symbol there.
I don't see the symbol either.
But you're right.
People
Though,
still want like Pikachu's, like an OG Pikachu, like is a card people just want, you know, and like that's gonna have value.
It says 1999 on the pack, so this seems pretty. I don't know if my camera can
What I was asking about, Neo, is you got to be careful if you didn't buy them this year, which is good, but because of their resurgence in popularity, people have been opening these packs, pulling the good cards, and like with 2021 technology, resealing them so that's almost like imperceptible to someone who's not like a super mega expert in that possibility. So if you were like, I just bought these to get in the game, I'd be like, I feel like that was a bad move. But if you've had these in your drawer for years unopened,
it's probably been at least 10 years in my drawer.
Then those are legit. Those are 1,000% legit. And who knows what you got in there, man? Wow.
It's exciting. It's exciting. I'm going to give them to my kids. And then I'll be like, never open these. Never, ever.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know if we're going to get another wave like we're having right now. Pokemon cards are at, I think they're at the peak, man. I don't know if they're going to last through 2022 or through 2021, maybe 2022. You know what I mean?
I do in fact have a binder sitting somewhere in my parents' house. All my Magic cards and all my Pokemon cards. They're all there.
I know I at least have a Blastoise, a Holo Blastoise, at least maybe a Charizard. I don't know if I ever got the Venusaur from the base set, but I don't know. I can't trust the quality because me and my brother played with these cards, right? And I had them in sleeves, but still, like, they were shuffled, they were dealt out, so they're not going to be like a PSA 9 or 10 by any means at all.
It actually brings up another point with PSA that they're not taking any submissions until I think it's 2022 or late 2021, just because they're getting way too many.
They're still backed up. I've heard that.
What is PSA?
That's the grading card service that they grade anything from sports cards to Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards, and you could send in your cards to try to get the grading, because that's where the true value lies. If you do get those high grades, the 9 or the 10s on these vintage Pokemon cards, because like Neo was mentioning,
approval, you know, like the seal of approval, you get them in the hard plastic, got the plaque there saying like this is this grade, this is this quality. And that's what bumps it up, like a graded, confirmed to be this quality card.
And that's the thing, because like they're trying to increase their staffing, but like how do you quickly just add people that can authenticate these, you know, $1,000, $10,000 cards off the bat? That's like a skill that you have to train for.
Yeah,
so that's
a good point. You can't really just like put an ad out on Craigslist like, who wants to rate Pokemon cards? Like, you just can't. Any clown off the street. Like, you have to be literally an expert in the field to know what you're looking for and what you're looking at, to not have like a counterfeit or to look for like, you know, creases or misprints or whatever the case may be. Like, it needs a lot of skill. That's a really good point.
I think the craziest part about the whole thing is that not only are people sending in the rarer cards, but they're trying to send in cards that are like uncommon, rare, like just non-holo cards, just because they know that they'll probably like 5 times their original value of the card. So, you know, the rise of junk slabs too, that's really what's throwing a whole wrench in the operations. But I haven't graded any cards personally. I do know that I have a couple of cards that are probably like PSA 9, PSA 10 worthy, but not Charizard for sure.
Yeah.
Charizard I have is like super damaged. I think I found it on in the bathroom, like on the floor as a kid.
All right. All of our collections are going to be somewhere where they shouldn't be for this year, you know?
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know how much I want to tangent, but back in like when I was in 5th grade, Pokemon cards were really hot at the time. And I actually had my Pokemon cards stolen at one point by a kid, and I know who did it, and I reported him to the principal to get my cards back. I was a little snitch, but I got my Pokemon cards back. That kid got in a lot of trouble. It was really, and we got Pokemon cards were banned from our school after that. No more.
Every school went through a period. Yeah, any fad thing just got banned after a couple.
We had an assembly about Tamagotchis, and they were like, "Don't bring these to school. Don't bring them."
We had a morning ritual in my grade school where everyone had to go and like put their Tamagotchis in like their book bags in the closet. Like the teacher wanted to see everyone put their shit in the backpack because we'd just be at our desks fucking
feeding that. Did I get Bill Clinton yet? Did I get Bill Clinton? I don't know.
You know.
But yeah, sorry, that was a little mini tangent there. But Yeah. So so you sell Pokemon packs on Macari? Is that what it is?
No, so it's mainly like singles and also like bundles. So I found a lot of my vintage, a good portion of my vintage cards, not my grails, because I know for sure I have I don't know if it's an unlimited base set Charizard and Blastoise and Venusaur and all those other guys, but I found a good portion of it, threw it inside this heavy case, the Pelican cases, the Pelican gun cases or whatnot. So I've just been slowly trying to ease up the load because the cards are starting to stack up more and more, and I'm just like I can't even see past them at one point. So I'm trying to get through the collection, thin it out a little bit, kind of like focus more on the high value ones to set aside for PSA grading. But so far it's been pretty good. Getting a lot of people coming onto the site just to check out the cards and stuff like that. Give a couple likes. A lot of people are more reserved now. So as far as the cards, you have to make sure you're taking good pictures, showing any flaws, whitening on the corners, creases, scratches on the hollow foil. It's a whole science now. Before, people were kind of just throwing like, "Oh yeah, that person's selling a binder for like $1,000. Let me just buy it." But now that more and more people are going to their closets and finding their vintage stuff and putting it on, there's like
Very
thousands
competitive,
in the
yeah.
market right now. So
God, I should go get my Pokemon cards. I should go find those.
definitely worth the search, man. I'll tell you that much.
Should see do like a value check on them and see what they're all about.
For real. And another thing I've been doing now is, on TikTok, I'm doing like pack openings as far as like the more recent stuff, like Vivid Voltage here. I have actually one of the blisters here. I don't know how well you can see that with the light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but these are becoming more and more increasingly hard to get in my area because I don't drive. So I just kind of like walk to the closest shop to me. But now that other people know when they restock, they're like grabbing them before I can get there. They left me one. They just left me one to grab. But I'm trying to be a little bit smarter as far as like timing and seeing when I can go in to grab it. But it's more something that I'm doing passively. I'd still want to work off of what I currently have. But it's just been fun so far, just trying to come up with creative ways to bundle these things together and, capture people's eyes with the right card, because you don't want to give them something that's like so and like ask for like $100 because that's not going to work in this market right now.
Yeah. Well, cool. Anything else you want to share with us?
Yeah, so like as far as like I've been dabbling a bit more into the card stuff. As far as gaming, because I know we kind of touched up upon a little bit upon what I was playing. I was actually talking to Felix about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know I'm a bit late on that, but I've been starting to play.
That's okay.
It brings me back though, because back when it was the PS1 edition and the 4-disc, I would go ham just putting in hundreds of hours in it. So I'm a little disappointed that you can't do the turn-based. I know that a lot of people have moved away.
It has the classic mode in it that you can like select.
Yeah, I lied to him about that. I thought it had. I thought classic mode was that because I thought you guys had said that on the show, but I realized I just misunderstood you guys.
Yeah, I think the classic mode is just more reliant on menu stuff. It's just more menu-based attacking and all that good stuff.
I was hoping that that might take too much time and development probably for them to include that separate system thing.
Square Enix did announce a Final Fantasy VII what is it called? It's like their legacy game that they're doing do you remember Final Fantasy 15 like the mini version of it? They did they did all of 15 in like a classic style.
They're announcing a version of that for 7, where it's the entire story, including like Advent Children, including Dirge of Cerberus, like Vincent's story, including Crisis Core, and it's going to be just everything, the original game, everything, in some kind of a mobile version. We don't know if there's going to be installments, chapters, how else they're going to do it, but they've said every section of Final Fantasy VII. Every bit of content is going to be in one playable game, which is very cool because
I got a title for it.
A movie, so it'd be cool to play that,
So it's called Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and you're right, it covers Crisis Core Before Crisis, the original 7 story, Dirge of Cerberus, and Advent Children. It covers. It's a game that is kind of done in the classic style, but with obviously updated visuals and all that good stuff. Right. Apparently, it's free to play. I'm going to assume you have to pay for the different.
It's going
sections.
to be some kind of monetization, whether it's like timers in the game somehow, or yeah, like you said, like chapters that are paid for. Who knows? I don't think it's that. My brother might think it's that. We've been kind of going back and forth about the possibilities there, but I don't know, man. That's interesting for sure. What they're gonna do.
I feel like Dirge of Cerberus is one of those games that kind of flew under the radar. I remember playing that back on the PlayStation 2.
That was a 2 game, yeah. I played that as well. I didn't finish it. I know it didn't like grab me. I it was like one night. I played it literally once. So who knows? Like it might hit differently again, but yeah, that was a different.
I remember wanting a PSP so I could play that Vincent game. What was the game with Vincent?
That was Dirge of Cerberus, but that's PS2. Thinking of the Zack game, Crisis Core was PSP.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fucking Zack, rearing his fucking weird head. I don't even fucking know who's fucking Zack is.
There's no context for Zack since he's only
no context.
The remake. He doesn't know the secret.
I played literally only the first section of 7 in this remake, and that's all I know. And then randomly at the end of the game, they're like, Zack! And Zack is fucking there killing enemies. And I'm like, who the fuck is Zack?
You have no context. You have no context for this person.
I'm like, Mr. Non-Sequitur Zack comes fucking in.
What if I told you?
What if I told
you have a way to play the entire story whenever you want, on any platform you want, at any time?
I know.
Start to finish.
I don't want to.
I can't see this happening.
You might have to retro game a little bit to do that. We know it's your favorite.
Los, you're going to learn real quick if you spend some time on this podcast that I can't retro games that I didn't play when I was a kid. So I can retro. Really? I can retro games that I played when I was a kid. But for some reason, my mind can't wrap around wanting to play games that are. My mind can wrap around it fine, Trip Zero. I can wrap around it. It's just,
sure.
What do I want to wrap around it? That's the problem.
There it is. You don't want to do it. It's the magic right there.
But I don't even last long. Like, the only thing I lasted long playing in a retro that I played before recently. I'm saying when I say last long, I mean more than. Oh, I just downloaded it on my Switch. I downloaded my Switch for 5 minutes. I played it for fucking 20 minutes. Put the fucking game down. Never played it again. But the only game I didn't, and I told you recently that I was playing this, Castlevania. Like I got farther in Castlevania than I've ever gotten in my entire life. I got to Frankenstein in that fucking game. Beat him.
Nice.
And then had no resources to fight the next boss. And now I've got like the save point between that boss and the boss after him. Frankenstein's a fucking asshole. He's got Igor with him. It's like this little guy, this little dog or whatever. And,
I barely played Castlevania.
Yeah, Frankenstein and the little dog just jump around and fuck you up. And then you have no resources when you go to fight the next boss, which I think is like might be Dracula. I can't even fucking remember. But like, dude, that's the only game that
isn't Dracula like the guy you have to get to in Castlevania?
Yeah, maybe I'm at the end of the game and I didn't even know it. I don't know.
You did.
But that's the game that I retroed recently. Yeah.
Nice. Well, play 7 when you're done with the remake. Well, I guess you're done with the remake now, unless you're going to go back in on a hard mode.
Yeah. What the only thing that appealed to me about that is the fact that I get to go in with all my shit like it's a new game plus.
Yeah.
The consideration of going back in there with no items, fresh with nothing. Fuck you.
Yeah, it is a new game plus, but I'm not recommending that you do that. Or if you do, give it a little bit of time.
I am giving it time. I'm on another bigger, better deal right now, bro. BBD.
Nice.
I'm still just happy you finished it. That makes me happy.
Yeah, I did it for you guys. I mean,
and you did it for yourself.
I did it for myself, but you guys like told me about the game, and I was like, I gotta give this a fair shake. I say it all the time about people. I can't shit on something if I've never actually consumed it and have no proper context for it.
It's a fair point.
So it's okay. I do that all the time. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm like that with movies, TV shows, whatever. Anyway.
So I have no good transition for this. Do you want to talk about Mortal Kombat, or do you want to hop right into the main topic? because I think we should probably just go into the main topic.
I'm cool with that. I mean, I haven't seen the movie. I've heard it was incredible and shitty at the same time. Just like a fun as hell, wild video game experience. Maybe if you want to say a few words, that could work. But I have no other context based on Twitter takes. You know.
I mean, I have pretty much the same takes as most people. It's a good movie. The main character kind of sucks. The character that they invented for this movie, the one who's not in the video games, is kind of just like a lame character. Like he's not likable at all to me, and he wasn't anything special. He didn't do anything that made me want to root for him. He's like a washed up MMA fighter, and he loses most of the time until he doesn't lose to save his family, and then he beats one of the major villains of Mortal Kombat lore, and then the best part about the movie is the Sub-Zero Scorpion stuff, hands down. I know Felix, you saw this, but the first like 10 minutes of the movie is like Scorpion Sub-Zero backstory.
Really
awesome.
good stuff. Really good stuff.
And then you don't see Scorpion. I don't want to like spoil the movie.
I mean, what are you going to spoil? It's a bunch of fighting.
Bunch of fights. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's great. Look,
you gotta see it to believe it, bro. You gotta see it to believe it. Like,
you gotta see it to believe it. What the movie does really well is it realizes it's a cheesy video game movie, and it just like leans into that, and it does it like really
There's no other way that movie is going to play other than that. You're not going to win with this movie, so you might as well go the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, you just lean hard into it. Like the movie does things like somebody will die, and then somebody says fatality, and you're like, yeah, he said the thing,
right?
And then there's a moment where like this one dude kicks the absolute shit out of another dude and doesn't get touched, and he says flawless victory. Like you get all those moments, right? Like you get all those like they did the
correct way to do it for sure. That's the correct way.
Felix, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I'm only 3/4 of the way through it because that's really the pace.
Shit, you didn't finish it?
No, I'm going to. I just don't know when.
Right.
It's not at top of my. So I'm viewing it as. I hope that this is the Fast and the Furious 1, 2, and this is really like a new reference for me because like I wouldn't have been able to make this reference like 5 weeks ago before I watched all of those movies. But I'm hoping this is the Fast and the Furious 1 to a large franchise where they come in their own until they have the Justin Lin series of Fast and the Furious movies. So like Justin Lin did 4, 5, 6. Those 3 fucking movies are an amazing trilogy in Fast and the Fury, right? Fast and the Furious. So I'm hoping this movie is just the start of a great franchise, and we start to see like all multiple sequels with all these characters, and
I think that's what they're going for, right?
I hope the community doesn't kill it.
A series.
Because I don't think it's great, but I think there's a shit ton of little nuggets and eggs, and like you said, them adding in all the nods to the game subtly and organically into the flow of the story means that like they can call back to that shit later. And I think the what's his name? Cole Young, is that his name? Cole Young? But I think that character is going to develop into like a staple, kind of like Brian is in fucking the Fast and the Furious. He's like this character that the audience can live through to view all of what's around him. So,
right. And that's why I think they made Cole Young, because he is kind of like a new outsider character for audiences to like kind of like go, okay, well, I don't know who all these other people are because they're from the game, but like this
it's
guy,
a classic storytelling trope. He's the lens through which
he's the everyman. He's the everyman trope.
He is, and they absolutely did that, but I think they didn't succeed at making him a good character to like root for, right? Like, because you want to root for those characters to succeed and stuff, but they made it really difficult to do that because they didn't show him. They showed him failing a lot, and then they told him he was special, and then you go, okay, he's special because they told me, and then you just continue to watch this guy kind of like flounder his way through all this like supernatural crazy shit that's going on around him. Meanwhile, everyone else knows what's going on. And it really does feel like this character doesn't fit in the world like he should. Like you can tell he's not a a Mortal Kombat character like right away because of just how he behaves and how he is.
So I played.
Everyone else is so weird, you know.
And this really shows my fucking age. But I played Mortal Kombat for the first time, Mortal Kombat 1, in the arcade in the first couple of months of it being in existence. Where you'd have 6 layers deep of people crowding around one machine in a beach arcade, like cheering on a guy who's going up the totem, the totem pole of fights that you got to do to try and get to the Goro fight at the very end.
Right.
And I have distinct memories of that. And the character that I always played fondly whenever I went in was Sonya Blade. Like I loved her like fucking thing where she does like a handstand that where her back fully she handstands like forward and then her legs lock around somebody's neck and then she pulls can't remember if she pulls their head off or just that's her move, like she flips them. But I loved that fucking move because no one saw it coming. And I used to do it all the time on kids. And it was just amazing. So I'm watching this movie, and I am hyper-focused on Sonya Blade and her character. And I'm not fully happy with what they did with her, and I don't fully... But later
I
on...
think they should have made Sonya the main character. That's what I think they should have
Same
done.
here.
Yeah.
She's the main character in MK11. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But what I did like was, and I'm not going to spoil it, but there's a moment later when she finally achieves something, and that was the moment where I was like, this is fucking cool. Like, I'm really liking this. When she finally achieves her, I don't want to spoil it, that's the part where I was like, yay! The fan is back!
The movie does that like a million times throughout the whole thing, right? Like it's constantly being like, yeah, that's from the game. You like that? Ooh, yeah.
But I didn't get to see her move. I wanted in one of those shots. I wanted to see her do, but I didn't get to the end of the movie. Maybe they don't even do it. But
you should probably finish the movie.
I'm gonna finish the movie because I really want to see if they do. If she
was
does
under
that,
the impression, Felix, that you watched this movie and that's why we were going to talk about this.
No, I mean I told you it's like almost done. It's like I'm really close to the end.
That's fine.
But yeah, I do not hate that movie though. I do not hate that movie.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's a good movie.
But I go post on social media. I couldn't even get through that Mortal Kombat movie with no context, and everybody thinks that I hate it. All these people are like, "Man, it was pretty good, dude. What the fuck?"
You're just the clickbaiter, dude.
All I said was I couldn't get through that Mortal Kombat movie.
You know what you're doing.
I literally couldn't, like, because I was busy. Okay. I had shit to do.
What do they have it available on? Is it on HBO Max or something? I think I heard
it was released in theaters and on HBO Max if you got access to it.
Gotcha.
So that's why everyone saw it so much. Maybe I will pop in and check it out.
It's not bad. It's a good. Make some popcorn. Yeah. Turn off your brain. Enjoy the hyper violence.
I'm not going to go in there like a critic at all. I'm just going to go in there for action.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the best. The best.
No, definitely
just enjoy it for what it.
Yeah.
Do not watch it with like the critical eye of like a fucking Oscar film. Like,
yeah, I'm not watching this expecting like a Darren Aronofsky fucking mind bender. Like I know I'm just gonna watch them get their entrails kicked out of their skull, and that's it.
I mean, I see all the Mortal Kombat.
The violence, Trip Zero. The violence in this movie is palpable.
You can taste it.
Yeah. So.
Well, speaking of violence against the law.
Palpable violence against the law? What are you doing? What a transition.
I'm trying to transition.
He's trying.
Go ahead.
Cool. We'll touch on this big topic that happened this week. That I forgot about. Trip, do you wanna lay us down with what's happening with the lawsuit against Twitch?
Yeah, I'll give a quick recap and then we'll discuss some of the implications about this. A lot of people may not remember, but a couple years back, I think in 2016, maybe earlier, I'm bad on the date when this exactly happened. There was a big controversy on Twitch surrounding the gambling with CSGO skins, Counter-Strike Global Offensive skins. People would bet skins in the game to try to win other skins. And these things had like had an extreme real world value, and it was CS:GO Shuffle was the site. There was a broadcaster. His name was Phantom Lord, one of the biggest broadcasters on Twitch at the time, who would stream himself like playing these games and winning insane rolls at the CS:GO Shuffle skins. He was a part owner of the site, the CS:GO Shuffle site, and then he was banned from Twitch. And as we know about Twitch's banning, they pretty much just ban someone and that's it. They don't even tell the person why who was banned.
Wow.
They certainly don't issue a statement to everyone else saying why the person's no longer there. They're just no longer there one day, and there's the big question mark, right?
Sorry, I missed the one point. Was this guy big following?
Yes. Yeah, he was one of the hugest streamers on the platform at the time. And he was gone. He was banned. No explanation why, just nothing. No context.
I remember at the time this being a big deal because I think this is actually something we talked about on the show when it was going on. I remember being pretty pissed off about it because these people were lying to their viewers in order to get people to get traffic to their website so they could spend money on these CS:GO bets, right? Like it was like a huge deal at the time. I remember a lot of people were reporting on it. I didn't remember this lawsuit going on though. Trip, you want to keep going into it?
On April 23rd, Phantom Lord tweeted, I won my lawsuit versus Twitch on all counts. Twitch lost everything, including the fraud claim against me for the CS:GO Shuffle allegations. This is a win for all streamers. Twitch can't bully, lie, and treat streamers unfairly the way they have for years. So this has been an ongoing lawsuit for the entire time. For all of the years between then and now, he has been fighting Twitch in court about his ban from the platform. And it just was decided that he was banned wrongfully, that he's owed back pay for losses.
Wow.
And essentially that Twitch was making up all the allegations and can't prove that he misrepresented himself to the extent that's required to be banned on the website. And this is huge for streamers for a lot of reasons, but primarily because of the ambiguity in the banning process. No one knows. We don't know why our friends might get banned off the site. We don't know why Dr. Disrespect to this day was banned from Twitch.
Still a mystery.
Like, is he gonna file a lawsuit now? Probably not. I'm sure he's got a cushy gig over there on YouTube. But like, there's so many question marks. And Phantom Lord tweeted out in the days in between of that announcement and today, saying things like, Twitch just asked the judge to silence me from tweeting about the lawsuit. That got denied.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
They tried to do a fucking, they call that a what do they call it? A gag order.
Yeah. He put a statement out on his Twitch, Phantom Lord's Twitch, and I won't read the whole thing. I'll refer you guys to his Twitter, his Twitter page to read his statement. I do want to read a paragraph from this though, which is very interesting.
Yeah, go ahead.
The jury of 12 also addressed Twitch's secret enforcement policies. The jury determined that because of its conduct, Twitch waived any enforcement of its terms of service. Also in this trial, Twitch's secret strike guide, its undisclosed list of rules of violations, was revealed and given the scrutiny it deserved. Twitch's arbitrary and baseless punishment system was found to be improper. Regrettably, Twitch still does not comprehend how inappropriate its punishment system is and asked the court to place the secret strike guide under seal.
Wow.
So there is a secret list of guidelines that are not in the terms and conditions, that are not given to streamers, that were revealed during these proceedings and are still not public because of this. But the fact is now public that they exist, and Twitch is making decisions based on knowledge that's not given to broadcasters on their platform.
Wow.
But that list is not public?
Not public.
It's not public.
It's an internal,
But it was in a public trial. Why is that not public?
No, the trial was not public.
Oh,
the outcome here is public. But this was unsealed in the course of these proceedings. They're not allowed to show that. That was put under seal.
As people who stream on Twitch, you would probably want to know things that would get you banned, right? You don't want to break the rules of a platform that you make yourself public on and that you agree to terms of service on. but for some reason, Twitch has a set of rules that they want to keep away from the people who are on their platform.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell, Twitch?
Now, Phantom Lord is going to go live. As of this recording, he's going live tomorrow.
On Twitch?
No, on YouTube.
Oh,
he's
I
going
was
live.
about to say, if he goes on Twitch, that's hilarious.
11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time, Thursday, April 29th. He's going to go live on YouTube and talk about this entire experience. So maybe we'll get more details then. Maybe he'll tell us some of the Secret Strike guidelines in this. I'm sure this will be a fascinating watch or rewatch. I don't know if we'll have the episode out in time for people to hear about this and tune in, but if you're interested, you'll know where to find this video, essentially. And I'm sure there will be more stories about it once his details come out about it and once he makes all of his statements complete.
I really want to know that. I really want to know. Don't you want to know? Do you guys want to know?
That's why I was pushing this story, because it's incredibly fascinating, and the implications for this platform. We're broadcasting on Twitch right now. The implications are huge, especially with how people are supposed to expect to conduct themselves.
I want to know if I'm breaking.
DJ Wheat's about to fucking put the hammer down, dude.
I'm like in this space, like it's a fucking stream within a stream. Like,
yeah, we're here. We're in this space, bro.
We're here.
Yeah,
talking about getting banned,
go ahead.
and then we get banned. Go ahead.
Do you feel like Twitch has some kind of a bias towards their more like I wouldn't want to say it because then Dr. Disrespect, he was one of like the poster kids of the platform, but you think about the situation with like Alinity, let's say, with the whole cat over the shoulder thing,
the vodka.
Yeah, and the vodka stuff, and then not getting banned. But then you look at this situation with Phantom Lord, or some of the other ones that still
people get banned for like way less than what she did or what anyone does. Like, I'm trying to think of other people who've been banned, but I'm not. Unfortunately, I don't know Twitch like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Twitch is malicious in their banning or not banning procedures. What I think it is that it's decisions made by real people, right? These are not automated. But what Twitch likes to do is, again, we know this, not comment on ban decisions, and so that's going to be also not commenting on things that they've missed. And some of the big misses look like giant misses because of the popularity these people have.
Yeah.
What
are you talking about? A lot of the people who are breaking the terms of service regarding like more
if someone throws
more skin or
stuff like that. Like if someone throws that out as an example of like, oh, Twitch banned this person but not that person, I just think it's a human error. I think it's a miss. It's a miss on their part, and they're not going to go back and ban someone based off of VOD unless it's like really egregious behavior. If it was a moment that came and went and they missed it, it wouldn't look great for them to go back and then ban someone after the fact, because they'd have to explain that, which we know they don't like to do. They'd have to, there would just be so many questions they would have to answer, and it would put them into more of a sticky situation as a business than just letting it go and hoping that it dies out. So that's how I think those situations are handled and why they happen.
So they miss a bannable offense. They'd rather take the L and let that person just continue on the platform.
I think so, because the more that they make a decision based on something very, very public, the more that their behavior gets defined. And as we know from this court case, they want to have their behavior in terms of banning very undefined. They don't want people to know what does it and what doesn't do it. They want people to abide by the terms and conditions, but they want to be able to interpret those terms and conditions on their own discretion.
You know what that's called in prison term, right?
What would that be called in prison term?
It's called a panopticon. So a panopticon prison is designed by the French, and the way it works is you have basically the portions of the prison are giant cylinders that go high, essentially fairly high, a couple floors. And in the center, you have a pinnacle tower that has lights that will light periodically. And sometimes those lights are manned by guards, and sometimes they're not. And basically the lights will shine on cells to see what prisoners are up to and shit like that. So the way it works is periodically the light shines, and it might just be a random light automated, right? But sometimes it shines and there's a guard behind it who can fucking see the shit that's going on.
Right.
And so what results is sometimes prisoners are taken out of their cell and put into solitary because they were doing some fucked up shit. And what ends up happening in the panopticon environment is ultimately the prisoners start policing themselves and policing other prisoners.
Right.
And then there's less work from the guard staff.
That sounds like exactly the approach they have for their platform.
Yeah, they're using a panopticon strategy to like make Twitch fucking its own jail.
Yes.
So funny.
Very interesting.
Panopticon, also the final level of control.
Yeah.
They named it appropriately.
They did.
Wait, control in what? Oh,
game
in
Control.
fucking the game called Control. Yeah, I remember that. And I said
Where
that
your
in
brother
when I was live
is
in my stream. That stage came up, and I go, I know what that word means. I was like, I studied that in college, motherfuckers. You didn't get that one past me. I knew that. So
But yeah, like, what do you guys think? What does this mean to you? This news? Are you like, how does it change your view of Twitch if it does?
Well, here's the thing. This has been a conversation that's being held all over the social media space, not just Twitch. Twitter also under lots of fire for who they do ban and who they don't ban, right? Like who does Twitter consider worthy of being banned, right? Like what egregious acts do you have to do? There was another God, what was this? Was this Twitch who did this? Or they said that they're going to start banning based on actions you take off of your platform. Who did that? Was that Twitch? Announcing.
I know you
start monitoring things,
there, but I don't know exactly what site or platform rolled that or trotted that out, I should say.
Platform. I'm just trying to look this up.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can name a bunch of people that were banned for different reasons, and they're all weirdly crazy.
What on Twitch or Twitter? Because Twitter is that list is long.
This is Twitch. So here's one. I'm not even going to go into names, but this guy was banned for stream sniping and Fall Guys. An ill-considered joke about genocide is the next one.
Okay.
Getting caught cheating at Call of Duty Warzone while bragging about how good he is at Call of Duty Warzone.
Now, these aren't like Twitch issued reasons, right? These are like someone probably was watching at the time and was like, it has to be this.
Right, probably.
Right.
That's what I guess the so this is drunken gunfire on stream.
Oh, I remember
that one.
Guy set a gun off.
Yes.
This is being a jerk, and it's President Donald Trump's fucking Twitch stream got banned.
Yeah.
Right.
The Dr. Disrespect one says we still don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then being jackass parents. It's like Rowdy Rogan's parents.
Yeah, there were some people who were like being really neglectful while streaming.
Yeah, some streaming baby or something. Yeah.
I remember one person got streamed for getting into a domestic fight with their significant other. That happened on stream.
I saw that. No, it wasn't on stream. That guy was yelling back and forth with his wife. She said, get off the game, get off the game. Then he walked off stream and you could hear him hitting her. Which many people were like, okay, well, maybe that didn't happen. But that's how he can get away with it if everyone just believes it's a lie. You know what I mean? Like, we got to take him at face value that even if it was theatrical, like, why would you do that, dumb fuck? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why would you actually hit your wife? Why would you make up like a theatrical fucking presentation to fucking hit where you're hitting your wife, like, for an audience? Like, are you stupid?
Yeah, it is.
In either case, you're dumb.
on the other side of it as well, it's like, well, it's Twitch's platform, right? They have the final say if you stay or are banned. Generally, I feel as though they should be outlined of like a solid list of bannable offenses, so there is no gray area. It seems like Twitch just wants to live in this gray area where they can just decide at a whim if it's bannable or not.
I mean, what do we think about that? Does a platform have the I don't know, ability? Are they justified in keeping their own list of reasonings behind the TOS reasons that anyone has access to? How do we
I
feel
don't
about
like that at all. I don't like it. I don't like it, sir.
I mean, I'm gonna.
I think it's lack of.
What were you gonna say, Los?
Oh, sorry. I think it's just lack of transparency, honestly. Because if you don't outline what you could get in trouble for, I mean, granted, like as far as like a person's like moral code, they should have somewhat of an idea. But then, like as far as like things like maybe like music, what kind of music can I play, or like the thing with gambling, like what kind of gambling isn't allowed, what kind of gambling is considered like just interacting with your fans or your viewers, right? So I think just having that guideline will much better lead to people being clear-minded on what not to do.
Yeah, I mean that logic makes perfect sense. But obviously, they want to be able to kind of maintain some kind of ambiguity so they can make decisions that I think ultimately would benefit them as a business.
Right. They want to have that extra slack to act when they need to act without any sort of like rule to refer to, right? Like they want to just be able to be like, well, we don't like having this guy here, so we're getting rid of him. They don't want to have it in stone, so to speak, so they don't have to explain themselves. They don't explain themselves. Like Doc Disrespect, we still don't know why, right? Like
no idea. Yep.
They want to be able to act in that gray, so they can just do whatever they want on their platform. And I guess, I mean, I don't like that because they have built over time this like large large amount of streamers that use their platform regularly and viewers that watch. So man, I don't know, man. I would love for them to just be straight up about it, but I don't think we're going to get it from Twitch. Phantom Lord wants to tell us, I will listen to Phantom Lord, even though I think he's a dick for what he did back with the CS:GO shit.
Hey, man.
The problem is they're a corporation, and corporations are people. And when corporations are people in the eyes of all the law, they have their own.
According to the courts, they are.
They have their own rights that need to be protected, and their right to remain silent on a lot of shit is a right of a corporation, which is one of the fallacies in our whole fucking court system. Because a corporation can keep silent how much toxic waste it's fucking dumping into a stream for fucking 30 years, because it's the right of it as an individual to do whatever the fuck it wants with its own property. You know what I mean?
Worst court ruling ever.
No, but like I wasn't even naming something specific, but that's an example of something that has been perpetrated by the fact that the Supreme Court backed up that corporations are individual people, like breathing organic people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what's really fucked up because, and there's a really great documentary. You can fucking watch it. It's called, I think it's called Walmart. I think that's what it's just called, about how fucking horrific the Walmart Corporation has been to the planet Earth. And how many corporate personhood lawsuits it's taken all the way to like higher end court, Supreme Court, all these different things to defend its right at personhood and to just be fucking awful.
Absolutely, man.
Like, and then the documentary determines by the end, and it checks off all these things. What is a person who is a well-adjusted human? You know what I mean? In the beginning, it says what is the categories that define a well-adjusted human? This person, like, is nice to other people. And it goes through all this. It's like an 8-part list, and that's the parts of the documentary. And by the end, they revisit the list and they go, nope. Wow. Walmart is a psychopath, like a sociopath, like the American Psycho from the fucking novel American Psycho.
If you
Walmart
remember the name
is a psychotic person.
Yeah, text me this. I need to watch this.
Yeah, I think it's called Walmart, but I'll double check. It came out probably around 2005, 7-ish, around that time period, maybe a little later. But it's a really fucking powerful documentary because you're like, holy shit, man. But yeah, I'll figure that out.
Operation Bro. But yeah, it's an interesting thing that's happening with Twitch now. They're going to be forced to probably be a little bit, at least a little bit more transparent than they'd want to be. So, and we'll obviously find out more in the days to come. Maybe revisit this as we learn.
Just fucking hit a button and knocked us. Sorry, I just fucking.
Oh. he changed the layout. For
I
our
changed the
live,
layout temporarily for fucking a second.
But yeah, we'll revisit this in the weeks as we learn more information and see what comes of this, if anything.
Absolutely. This is a conversation we'll probably continue into our post show, twitch.tv/emergent_gamer if you want to catch us live.
Made Felix burst into laughter about when something changed here. You can catch moments like that live that you don't get when you're just listening to us. So good excuse to come on by and see what's happening.
Somebody just got fired for that.
Mm-hmm.
It was me.
We're on to our 17th intern, unfortunately.
It was me. I got fired.
Los Plantanos, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
So do you want to call out any project? Anything you want to say? Take your time.
This has actually motivated me. I'm looking forward to actually getting back on Twitch at El Platano Loco on Twitch. We're going to be streaming most likely either Hearthstone or Genshin Impact because those are the two games I'm enjoying a lot right now. But thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a blast. We talked about a little bit of everything. So thank you guys again.
We did and we do. So yeah, everyone out there listening, go find El Platano Loco on Twitch. And what's your Twitter again, Los?
Twitter is El Platano Loco 1 on Twitter.
Thank you, man. Thanks for being here. Go follow him, follow our man, and check him out when he goes back to streaming.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I've been NeoAyoshi. You can follow me at twitch.tv/NeoAyoshi. Playing all kinds of games. I'm going to try and play Nier, maybe that other game I talked about, Returnal. Maybe more Monster Hunter. That's what I'm all about. Maybe some Witness. I don't know. Sounds like a good time. Follow me at Twitter.
Witness will be amazing.
I do want to finish that now real bad. Twitter.com/Neo_Yoshi for following me for all those hot takes. Trip.
What's up, guys? I am Trip0. You can find me on twitch.tv/Trip0TV, and I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays around this show, 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. The schedule might be shifting earlier a little bit. I did change my work schedule to be in and out of work earlier, so I might push the stream forward an hour. Who knows? If you pop in the middle, you'll still make it, though. So those times are still very applicable. We've got a lot coming up on the next few weeks. We've got Pokemon Snap on Monday. We're playing, obviously, 102 Dalmatians for speed runs to fill in the gaps. I'm considering an all Resident Evil run all the way up into 8 because I know 8 comes out pretty soon. There's content plans, and we got to see what we feel like doing, as well as, of course, new Destiny season in about 2 weeks with Vault of Glass coming at an unknown date. So there's a lot of content through the summer. So you'll be very entertained over on my channel where we're not doing the podcast. So come check it out. Thanks for listening.
Felix.
This is Felix Hergood. I'm at Felix Hergood on Twitter. I'm at Felix Hergood on Twitch, but I'm not there right now. So
leave a message.
Leave a message. Leave a message at the fucking beep, baby. I don't know. I don't know when I'm coming back to streaming. I'm not going to say never because I have all the equipment to fucking do it. But, you know, I got a lot of thinking to do, man. I got to figure out how I want to brand myself when I come back. And that's an involved thing because I had like a thing going and I can't do it anymore. So I want to figure it out. So
whatever you decide, Felix, we're here for you.
Thanks.
We're here for you.
Yeah, man.
And we're here for you, listeners, because we'll see you next week.
I'm not.
Emergent Gamer.
But still listen. Thank you. I love you.
See ya.
All right.